lifetime. And just to make them interesting, tell me them all in rhyme. Tell me the old story. Tell me the old story. Tell me the old story. God's people at his love.
Hello. Now there are a couple of phrases that you often hear used. You may even have used one or both of them yourself. When somebody tells something that is completely impossible, or so you think. One phrase is, "Don't make me laugh." The other is, "You're having a laugh, aren't you?" Well, laughter is the subject of this, the 5th reading from Bob Hartman's Rhyming Bible. It's called A Child Called Laughter. So God said to Abram, "I want you to leave your country, your kindred, and roam. Your children will bless every nation on earth. Follow me to your new home." Now Abram was old, and his wife Sarah too, without any children, not one. But he trusted God's promise and followed his lead, and went till the journey was done. Beautiful, prosperous Canaan land was the name of his destination. "But I still have no children," said Abram to God. "So how can I start a great nation?" "Look up in the sky," God whispered to Abram. "Count every star that you see. I'll give you more children than all of those stars, even more than the sands in the sea." And just to make certain his promise was real, God even changed Abram's name. "You're Abraham now," which means father of nations. And yes, it does sound much the same. And then one fine day 3 visitors came and sat by the great oak of Mamre. Abraham was 100 years old, and Sarah a quite sprightly 90. Abraham offered his guests a fine meal, then hurried into his tent. "You bake the cake, Sarah, I'll cook the calf. We'll find out why these gents were sent." The food was delicious, a proper feast. "We'll be back in a year," the guest smiled. "By then you will have one more mouth to feed, a baby, a son, Sarah's child." Alone in the tent, Sarah listened, amazed. She chuckled and then laughed out loud. "Why is she laughing?" the guests asked as one. "We know what we're talking about." And so the guest went, and within a year, as promised, God answered all of their dreams. Sarah gave birth to a boy they called Laughter, for that's what the name Isaac means.
Tell me the old story of unseen things above, the stories of God's people, the stories of his love, stories that I'll remember throughout my whole lifetime. And just to make them interesting, tell me them all in rhyme. Tell me the old story. Tell me the old story. Tell me the old story. God's people at his love.